A warm respect to all the judges. My name is ST Phowltha and I'm outgoing college student. The theme of this speech competition is Victim Blaming in Manipur, organized by Girl Up Khonjel, Manipur. The topic which I'm gonna speak is empowering the oppressed is not just giving power to the oppressed but educating the oppressor. I strongly and heartily will support this given topic. Educating the oppressor. Education. Education is something which we really need in this present era in our society and the world as a whole. Because education is something which every people lack as of now, as a teacher, as a student, and as a youth and as a parents. Most of the people lack education, and due to lack of education, many crises, many chaos, many crimes, many heinous acts happen in this present era. So education is something which we really need. Educating the oppressor. It is not just only the oppressor, but as a whole, we need education. We need to give awareness about education. We need to give awareness in every related about education. I have some stand firm points in supporting and in highlighting this topic. My first stand firm point is mentally broke people. Mentally broke and mentally unhealthy is very problematic, and then it's very something which can create and then which can happen to a various person and then which will result in various heinous acts, crimes, and etc. Yes, when we talk about mental, we are really much related to crimes happening around and then to many heinous acts happening in the society. When a person is mentally unhealthy, he or she will be unaware of this of what's happening around in his society, and then he or she will know what he or she is exactly doing. So if the oppressor is a mentally ill people, is a mentally ill person, he will not be aware of it. So when we empower the oppressed, we will surely educate the oppressor who is mentally ill. My second point is underage person. We all know that who are the underage person. Yes, underage person are young people who are vibrant, who walks and then who did things according to their own pleasures. In some way we can say that they are people who are doing works without deep thinking, without second thought. When the oppressor is an underage person, he or she may not be aware what he or she has already done. But when we empower the oppressed, when we support the oppressed by the law or by the society, the underage person, that young guy or that young girl, will realize something and will catch up something in his mind and then will learn something surely. My third point is peer pressures. Yes, in this present era, there are so many peer pressures, mainly bad peer pressures from friends or from dear ones, which makes the youth indulge in various activities, various unhealthy activities, harmful activities, heinous acts, crimes, murder, etc. As we all know in this very moment, when we flip the newspaper or when we read a news article, there is some which there are there are news articles or piece of news which we came across that always a youth is the most affected one. What I want to say here is that peer pressures peer pressures play a bad role in this kind of heinous acts. So if a normal person, if a if a minded person is indulged in such kind of activities due to their peer pressures, he or she will realize and then will later realize when we empower the oppressed. That will be a big lesson for that particular person who did things according to their friends, who forcibly did things, did bad things, did crimes, or did this and that due to their friends. And then fourthly, I want to base on education again. Yes, lack of education. I want to base on people of high professions who did heinous crimes knowingly or unknowingly. But being a high profession, or being an officer, I should say, they are indulged in many harmful activities, many this and that activities. These people lack education. And then saying about saying about and saying about the characters of the oppressed, we should not say that it is the education which the oppressor lacks it. So we need to empower the oppressed, not just to give power to the oppressed, but to educate the oppressor and then to educate the society as a whole. Because the society as a whole lacks so much of education. As there is a saying, little knowing is danger in life. We need to know more, we need to read books, we need to collect informations. And then there is also a saying by Argya Chakraborty that lack of education is the root of arrogance and aggressive attitude. So we really need education in this present era. So roughly saying, mental broke person, underage person, peer pressures, and lack of education plays a bad role in these things. So to overcome this, we need to empower the oppressed, to educate the oppressors, and to educate the people, the youth, the society as a whole, and to remove all those evil acts in this society. That is how I want to conclude. Thank you so much.